What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. So, wow, folks, Caleb Eminem Plant Pot got smoked. Yeah, he proper got punched up. Fair play to this Mexican cat here. I'd never heard of him from Adam, and the boxing god saved me this weekend. That's for sure. Yeah, because I was looking at a little thing. You know that Plant was a huge favourite. Let me show you the odds quickly. Let me show you how the boxing god saved the YB from eternal bumpage. Yeah, look at this, unbelievable. Plant was a minus 2,500, which means you have to put $2,500 down to make a wanna, to make a bill. Yeah, £250 down to make what, £10 profit back. Yeah, wow. Do you know how crazy that is? That's nuts. What's that? 25 to 1, isn't it? Yeah, 25 to 1 favourite, essentially. Wow. And he won about, I'd say, if you was properly trying to wank him off here, you might give him 4 rounds, probably 3 or 4 rounds. He got punched up, and almost as bad as Plant getting punched up, the judge. One judge had it a split decision. Never ever. This would have been as bad as this one was probably worse than the Hamza Shiraz scam, to be honest. I think Hamza Shiraz was more in that fight than Plant was. Plant to me looked shot, and it's funny, we were talking about him the other day. The YB's cursed for sure. We was talking about how he's kind of jumped back and he knocked out McCrummy. Who is he though? We don't know, but still, he's known to he lost to Alvarez, then he sparks Dirrell. Dirrell's washed up, but still, he sparkled him. He loses against Benavidez and he sparkles McCrummy. We were talking about the renaissance period in Caleb Plant Eminem's career. He gets in there with this dude here. I actually rate that Jose dude. If you watch the fight, I watched more or less probably 10 rounds of it. Starts off slow. Plant, for example, look at this guy's. I'm trying to show you his face. Pause. This is his opponent. Oh, come on, man. I'm looking for Plant's opponent's face, but when you at the end of the fight, yeah, there's not a mark on him. And he's coming forward all night, putting his hands together, pressure in. Plant has about. He's always known to gas, yeah, but Plant has about, at this point, probably 4 rounds of gas. And even when he had them first 4 rounds, he's quick, yeah. He can't punch with toffee. Plant's quick, he can't punch. But there's nothing on his shots. They're quick and not doing nothing. Because normally, with a pressure fighter coming forward, you'd at least expect, even when Plant fought Canelo's top of his head, his forehead gets marked. This guy didn't have a scratch on him. Yeah? And Plant looked to me like he's all just faffing. Way too much clinching, way too much backpedaling, and it should. For me, it's another notch on the belt that, unless you're really talented, stick your hands on your head, man. Yeah, stick your hands on your head, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna do better. Plant's got the whole leaky deaky. He's getting caught with the left hook. He was getting caught all over, and this cat here, who was a 25 to 1 underdog, didn't get a mark on him. And really, for me, he was in gear 1. And the more Plant opened up, the more Plant was getting caught. He got cooked. And I couldn't believe, really. Yeah, he took the loss well, but let me show you the video here. Plant took the loss well, but when he got announced he had a split decision, he was like putting his hand in the air as if he was going to take it. You got punched up, man. Don't play with me. It was a 9-3 type fight. And never mind it, considering the fact that if you follow the channel, you know that I don't score fights for just what we see in front of us. If you're a massive underdog, yeah, and you go into a fight, and you win 6 rounds, for me, you won the fight, right? So for me, Lamont Roach, when he fought Tank, aka L Diddy Grease. Oh yeah, that's in my eye, yeah. Lamont Roach won that fight. He was a 20 to 1 underdog. Yeah? This guy here, he won about 10 rounds adjusted for his underdogness. Good performance by him. I looked into him after the fact. And he's been sparked. He fought some random plumber and he's been sparked before. This goes to show that you can get clipped by a lesser individual. He fought some dude called, well, he beat Jarrett Jarrett Hurd at one point, who was coming up. Well, he had it. I think he was washed up by then. But this Mexican dude who had to go on Plant last night, he beat Jarrett Hurd 2 years ago. Then he gets knocked out by Garcia. I watched the highlights back of that today, and he just basically got too loose as a goose. He came in with a lack of respect for Garcia, starts exchanging, leaky-deaky, and gets clipped. But with Plant, because he was such an underdog, he came in with respect. His defense was on point. I liked his defense, to be honest. I don't think he's got the power of Canelo, but he had his head movement there. It was nice, man. It was a solid performance. I'm trying to think, at 168, I don't think he'll do badly if he comes in like that again. He can squabble, yeah. And I think Eminem is finished. Honestly, no gas. Even at the best of his career, he was known no gas. He can't punch. He's got a little bit of speed, but listen, if you've got speed here, and you've been jabbing dude for 12 rounds, and he ain't got one mark on his face, it's like, what's that speed for? It was all kind of, and I think Palmer Plant is his style. He has this lead hand out like this. Now, if you've boxed before, you'll know that. Do you know how much it burns your shoulder's weakest when it's out? Yeah, your shoulder's strongest here. So when you, trust me, you try holding your arm out for 36 minutes like this, pouring. Yeah, it absolutely canes your shoulder off to such an extent you can't generate no pop because your arm's been out here, super weak out there, and you're just burning your shoulder out. Plant's doing this from the early rounds, not scoring no points with it, just hanging it out there. You see that a lot with new age fighters. We call it the faff off, the fencing. It's like, it's useless, man. It's not like Usyk will do a bit of fencing, but he'll go up, down, and he's coming in. Plant's just stuck it out there, leaning back like this. So it burns him out. Not to mention, he's always moving his feet as well. He's always backpedaling, and he just don't seem to have the gas for it at the end of the day. He's not like Shakur Sleepvinson, who can backpedal all night. It seems to me like Plant's he's got twitch, but no power. He burns that twitch, and he's fish food. And if this dude, RESENDIZ, if he had a bit more power, I think Plant would have been out there. Although Benavidez couldn't even stop Plant. So Plant's not a punk. He won't quit, but he got punched up, man. He got proper washed in this fight. And I was saying earlier that the God saved me, because literally I was looking at this card here, trying to make myself a play. I thought, ooh, let's do a cert accumulator. I was going to put Plant, Charlo, and maybe Kermo Moto on there to make 10% back. You put 100 quid down, you make a tenner. In my mind, before the fight, I was thinking, bosh, who don't want a free tenner? It's not a lot of money, but come on, a free tenner's a free tenner, bro. That's why I almost got a bump, man. You can't back these new age favourites like that. RESENDIZ, he fought well though. I'm not saying it was all Plant sucking, but Plant does suck. I think he's finished. And his trainer even alluded to that. His trainer said he's had some hard fights. The Canelo fight was hard for him. The Benavidez fight was hard for him. Even the McCrummy fight, it was a bit life and death-ish. And now, at this point, I'm not really sure. They're banging on about, oh, we want to do the Jamel Charlo fight. This whole fight was, bear in mind, Jamel Charlo was on the undercard. This was supposed to be Plant and Charlo fight bums on the same card, and then they do the finale. And it always seems to happen this way, doesn't it? Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Garcia gets popped. Whenever you've got something that makes sense, there's always something to cuck it. Half the time. Sometimes you get good matchups, like, I don't know. But half the time, something goes left. But I think Plant, how old is he now? I don't think he's that old. And he hasn't had that many. These new age men, there's something in the water, folks. They're not built the same. Plant, when you look at the old school, Caleb Plant's had it's not, you wouldn't say he's been a proper through it, would you? I lost to Carrot Top. Carrot Top he don't really stick it on you like that. He's happy to stand there and plod around. He don't proper give it to you, old school. Like Hagler, for example. He don't wail over you, does he? He'll plod, and if you're gagging to be knocked out, he might stick it on you, but he might not. So that's alright. Benavidez, yeah, he got hit a lot, but Benavidez can't punch. But sometimes, we've said before on this channel, sometimes it's the ones who can't punch that do the most damage, long-term wise. Why? Dudes who can punch, you're out of there. You're not taking the repetitive, blunt force trauma. Benavidez can't punch, but he's hitting you 10 times every 30 seconds. So he's not putting you out, but he's damaging, your head's wobbling a whole bunch of times. So, I think it's fair to say, like, he's 32, 33 this year, he's not that old. He's a fair age, but he looks washed to me, unfortunately. I think he probably should try and beg for the... Charlo's already come out and said in the post-fight interview he wants Plant regardless of the loss. And that probably makes sense for him. Fight Plant, fight Charlo, get punched up. I don't really rate Charlo, but you probably get punched up by... Seeing how finished Plant looked, Plant said, I invested loads in this training camp. It wasn't a case of he hasn't trained. It looked to me like he hadn't trained. It looked to me like he thought this guy was easy, but that's not the case. He actually was in camp. He's just shot to bits. Yeah. Shot to bits. Anyway, let's get to the post-fight interview quickly before we get out of here. This Plant, this guy bugging. Plant's like, yeah, ooh, yeah, oh yeah, split decision, yeah, ooh. It could have gone either way. Bro, man, he lost the last, what was it? He lost at least the last 6 rounds on the trot. I can't give him a round. 6 on the trot. At the very, I think it might have been 8 on the trot, the last 8. Or something like that. I know the first 6 were mixy. I'd Plant winning 3 of the first 6, maybe. 2 or 3 of the first 6, and then he got washed down the straight. He didn't win a round. He just didn't. Way too much clinching. He's got this leak. If he's not sitting back and sticking his hand out like this, yeah. If he's not doing that, he's trying to do the moody shoulder roll, and it's moody. He ain't got no shoulder roll like that. He's got the moody shoulder roll. He gets hit every time with it. And his trainer aired him out and said, "Listen, man, I didn't teach him that shoulder roll shit. He can't do it. He can't do it, man." He can't do it. And he comes out in round 12 hopping around like a yippo. His trainer told him, we need this round, and Plant comes out hopping around, burning his legs out, looking like Jar Up a Stinker. That's how it looked. Watch Jar Up a Stinker versus Bradis. He's hopping around like a jack-in-the-box, man. Get in there, man. You let your hands go. No good. Anyway, here's Plant's post-fight interview. Get ready for these corny bars. Bosh.
Continue with our post-fight press conference. I've always said it about this man. He's a throwback fighter. He's willing to take on any and all comers. And obviously went ahead and had...
I will say that about Plant, though. He's not a punk. I will say that. He's not a punk. He'll run the fight, but he's finished. He's finished, man. He's finished.
A tremendous effort here tonight against Armando RESENDIZ. I will give the floor to Caleb Plant, ladies and gentlemen, from Nashville, Tennessee, now living here in Las Vegas. Caleb Plant always comes out, fights his heart out. Caleb, the floor is yours.
Hey, everybody. It was a great fight tonight, close fight. Felt like it could have went either way, but, it's live by the sword, die by the sword. And the judges seen it how they seen it, and, I'm not the type to make any excuses. I left no stone unturned this camp, put it all in, paid a lot.
It was a close fight, seriously, man. This would have been one of the bigger robberies of all time. I don't know how he think it was close. I don't know how listen, man. Honestly, listen, man. Look at this dude here. This dude here ain't got one mark on his face. Not even a bit of a blemish on his forehead. I don't know what. Plant. Listen, we say people can't punch a lot, yeah, but Plant, he really can't punch. He really can't punch, man. Not one mark on this dude's face. Baby face, yeah. Come on. Not even a bit did you win.
A lot of money for camp, did a lot of work, a lot of running. And obviously I'm disappointed. But
that's another thing as well. I was thinking about this. When I heard Plant say this initially, oh yeah, I had a hard camp and a lot of running. You know me already, I don't rate running like that, sorry. And this shows it. He did a hard camp, did a bunch of running, and his legs were gone after 4 rounds. Running, yeah? Think about it. Plant mainly is on the back foot. He's like a mid to back foot fighter. What you notice about most of these boxers are, they run forward, right? But then, most of the time, they're stepping back. So, it's completely different muscles, yeah? When you're jogging forwards, unless you're storming the beach of Normandy style, which it may have some benefit, Plant should be jogging backwards, man. Seriously. I'm not just saying that to take the piss. Oh, he's running. Seriously. If you're going to jog somewhere, jog back. Because that's what you're doing, yeah? You got all this forward jogging muscleness, and then your legs are burnt out, yeah? No legs. No legs at all.
But wanted to make sure I come out here and, said my piece, came to see you guys, and, I still getting a lot of love from the fans, and, I think I've earned their respect over the years, and obviously right now I'm just disappointed, so.
Take a seat. Questions for Caleb Plant?
I'm happy for him.
Are you tempted, Caleb, to try to run this one right back, or would you like to go to Charlo, given who you are in the sport?
I mean, I'm down for anything. I'd go right into the Charlo fight, but we got a rematch clause, so I'm more than willing to run it right back.
CP right here, Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV, and that's what I wanted to ask you. We heard Charlo say that they could make up a belt, that he's desperate to get his lick backs against you, that he wants to fight you next no matter what. Are you willing to just go directly into a Charlo fight next if it was offered to you?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
So you've heard that there. He's got a rematch clause. He doesn't mind a Charlo, but I mean, I'm not being funny. I think he's shot, to be honest. And since I guess Charlo wants to make some easy money too, but normally when someone loses, they say, haha, I'm not fighting you anymore. But Charlo wants it. I think you get punched up again, or there's a high likelihood you get punched up again. Unless there was something wrong, like they said he hurt his right hand. He's not really a big right hand fighter anyway, to be fair. He likes to just kind of ding it, pop it sometimes, pot shot it. The lead hand is where the work's at, normally for Plant. I think he knocked out, is it Demetrius? Not Andrade. I just mentioned his name. The other one, where he buried him. He dug the spade in and buried his ass. That was I think it was a left to the body, left to the head, uppercut to the body, left hook. So your left hand was fine, man. And your ass was grass end of the day. I think you get punched up again. I'd look at the odds on that. And if Plant came in a big favourite again, he won't be as a big favourite, but his legs are gone. We know this. Whether it's new age or not that he's finished after 2 decent fights, he's finished. There's no pop in his shots. There's no pop at all. There's no pop. And that dude as well, RESENDIZ, he came from 160. And he even looked little in the fight. When I was looking at the size of them both, Plant wasn't towering over him, but you could tell, if you were specifically looking for size differences, you could tell Plant was an actual 168 pounder. And RESENDIZ was quite little. I'm not sure why he even moved up for. If he can make 160, bro, you'd be a problem at 160 based on this performance. And apparently he's training with Manny Robles now. Andy Ruiz is old, and I believe Andy Ruiz has got back with Robles now. But Robles, fair play to this guy, man. Crazy squabbles. Good, tight, he's popping, he's catching and countering. Really high level performance, to be honest. End of the day, and it should show a lot of these man here what time it is. Yeah, Plant looked finished, but Plant's fought a bagger man whilst he's been finished. Stick your hands right on your head, man. A little bit of head movement, walk right onto them. The legs are going to go. Most of the man, unless you're really good, the legs are going to go quick. At the end of the day, it's not foolproof, but Caballero's just walking into dudes, man, and chopping them apart. None of this faffing around rubbish. Look at Parker. Parker made a right meal out of Zhang. Made a right meal out of him, hopping around and shit. Just making hard work of it. Caballero goes in there, yeah. 6 rounds. 5.5 rounds. Big bang, I bang you. He got the sweet and sour sauce knocked out of his ass. Yeah, 6 rounds. Parker's in there faffing around, doing all this extra shit, man. Walk right into them. Simple as that. Walk right into them and let them hold something. That's the bottom line. That's a trend I'm seeing right now, especially in the new age. These man they ain't really got no squabbles on the inside either. Clinching, that's the squabble game right now. In the new age, the squabble game. Look at Okoli versus Billam Smith, right? Billam Smith's on him and Coley's like shitting himself. Oh, but I'm at cruiserweight. Maybe you shit yourself. Yeah, because cruiserweight wouldn't make you shit your pants, right? Most likely, if you really wanted to fight, being weight drained would mean you throw your hands and then you're knackered. But Coley went in there stinking the place out from round 1. So I don't believe that. It's a new age, man. It's a new age. Cling on for dear. Don't throw your hands and cling on for dear life. If in doubt, stink the place out. That's a great saying, actually. If in doubt, stink the place out. That's what it is in 2025, folks. And it's been that way for years, to tell the truth. It's been that way for years. Anyway, I've got another quote somewhere. I think it's more or less the same one. He's talking about how the judges got it wrong.
Like I said, that's no excuse. And
What's your game plan with what you were trying to do?
yeah, I mean, I felt like I was putting my jab on him, using the whole ring, switching directions, working my jab up and down, working my feints. I didn't use the right hand as much as I want. It was kind of bothering me. But again, like I said, that's no excuse. And But, you know, Brett was giving me great instructions in the corner. My dad was giving me great instructions in the corner. And, you know, I felt like I won like at least like the first 5 of the 6. And I felt like
He thinks he won the first 5 of the 6. He thinks he won the first 5 of the 6, bro. You weren't doing nothing, man. Early on, Resendez was happy to let you defend the round. That's what most pressure fighters do. They let you go in there, burn your legs out. And you won them by default. You didn't win them because Resendez was trying to get you. You just was winning them because he weren't doing much. But burning your legs out. Take it. I think the first 2 was Plant, and then it was round 3 was Resendez. I mean, the first 6 were closer than the last. The last 6, you won them all. You lost them all, sorry. You lost the last 6 straight up. He didn't win a round in the last 6. He did not. And Resendez won 1 or 2 of the first... No, it was probably 2. It was at least 2, actually. It was 2 or 3 of the first 6. But I won the first 5, at least, he said. So, wait, at least, that means there's a good chance you won the first 6 of 6. You bugging. Yeah? Never was that the case. And he starts saying, yeah, I won the first 5 of the first 6. I won 5 of the first 6, and then I nicked a few in the back. No. That sounds good. It sounds like, if you think about statistics in a generic way, you can say, yeah, well, if someone was to win the first 5... then it's a good chance. No, that's not what happened, though, bro. It wasn't a good chance. You lost the last 6 straight up.
I definitely could have pulled, you know, 2 out, at least like the first 5 of the 6. And I felt like I definitely could have pulled, you know, 2 out down the stretch somewhere along the way. That's 7-5 right there. So I felt like I did enough to win the fight, 7-5. But, you know, the judges didn't see it that way. And sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. So, but no, my dad.
No, that's crazy. Listen, Plant's humble. He gave the guy respect, but he hasn't watched it back. It's different when you're in there, I guess. But you must have known. You'd like to think you'd have known if you were in that kind of fight, you didn't win it. Didn't do nothing in there. He was all on your ass, man. He was all over you like a rash. He didn't do nothing, man. You can't win a fight. Even the rounds, your most dominant rounds. That's another way that I think the scoring system doesn't really account for. For example, the first 2 rounds, which were definitely Plant's, them first 2, the way Plant won his most dominant rounds, how does the scoring system account for that? Because Plant's most dominant rounds were probably round 1 and 2, and there was nothing in it. They were stinky. Yeah? They were stinky, okay? But Resendez's best rounds were like, oh, Plant's ready to go. Yeah? So the scoring system, both men, for their best 2 rounds, get the same amount of points. But Plant's winning rounds were stinky. Like, he nicked him, life and death. Could have gone either way. The rounds Plant won were like, okay, I guess he give it to him. The rounds Resendez won, it was like, whoa, Plant's toast. Yeah? So that needs to be looked at as well. But there's no way you said, yeah, you can just, well, I won the first 17. I won the first 17 rounds in the first 6. So if you take them first 17 rounds that I won from rounds 1 to 6 and take off 5 from the last... That's what this guy's doing. Yeah, well, actually, if you add up 17... Look, watch. 15 plus 2 is 17. Then you take off 4. That's 13. Then you add 7. You know what I mean? He's doing a big maths thing like it's like that. You got punched up, man. Let's call it that. So listen, I got punched up. I was 25-1 favourite and he proper boxed me up. It was just a good performance, man, honestly. I've never seen someone... Benavidez kind of did it, but I've never seen an Underdog. He was so calm in there. It looked really... I'm certainly be following this. Maybe he doesn't look like the biggest 168 pounder, but maybe he was weight drained at 160 because I saw some poise. There was shades of Canelo here. Not necessarily the punching power, but there was shades of his poise and consistency on the job. A bit like Virgil Ortiz. Fair play to this cat here, man. It just shows that you can be knocked out by some random dude, and then if you keep at it and keep your nuts, let your nuts hang. Not these new age man, their nuts don't hang. That's the problem. Yeah, they have 1 loss. Like if that was, imagine AJ, yeah, had it been clipped like Resendez was. Resendez was clipped by, who was it? He was clipped by some random dude, Elijah Garcia, knocked out. It was a moody stoppage, but still, he got stopped. Imagine if that happened to AJ early in his career. He'd never be the same. Right? He'd be shitting himself, most likely. Anyway, fair play to Jose Resendiz and Plant, man. You got to just get that shmoney now. Let Charlo have a go on you. Jamel might even want to have a go on you. But mate, I don't know. Maybe Plant can come back. I'll be very shocked though. I'll be very shocked. He looks really weathered. And to be honest, his legs just ain't. His legs and his pop and it's just not lining up. His defense as well, super leaky deaky. He's changed trainers though. I'm not sure how long he's been with this new trainer. Has he been with him for a few fights already? Maybe he was already with him. I don't look into Plant that much, but he seemed. I don't know. Yeah, just something seemed off to me. Is it a bad night in the office? You'd have thought someone of his caliber would have been able to make it do what it do, enough to nick the fight on points. If it was just a bad night in the office. Not to mention, I think RESENDIZ had the best fight of his career by miles. That, for me, was a world-class performance. I'm trying to think who's at 160. It's all Canelo, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't think he's going to have the power to trouble Canelo. But listen, when it comes to fight. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash that like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this, so people stop it. Hit bar.